Remember when couch co-op ruled the world? Back before online lobbies, before lag, before loot boxes. It was just you, your best friend, and a TV that was way too small for 4 split screens. Today, we're diving into the best forgotten co-op games from the 2000s. The kind of games that turned sleepovers into all-nighters, destroyed friendships over loot, and made every button mash feel like the most important thing in the world. First up, Gauntlet 7 Sorrows. If you grew up button mashing with friends, this was your jam. It carried the DNA of the original arcade Gauntlet into the 2000s, and it was all about chaotic hack and slash action. 4-player co-op meant non-stop mayhem, fireballs flying, arrows whizzing, enemies swarming from every direction. And let's be real, half the fun was accidentally stealing your buddy's health food and hearing them yell across the room. It wasn't the most polished RPG. Critics were not blown away, but if you had a squad, it was unbeatable. The magic of Gauntlet was how easy it was to pick up and play. Nights disappeared fast with this one. Next, TimeSplitters. Think GoldenEye, but cranked up to 11. Same split screen DNA, but this game went off the rails in the best possible way. The story mode was already fun and co-op, letting you and a friend blast through ridiculous time-hopping missions. But the real magic was the multiplayer, insanely fast-paced, endless characters to choose from, including monkeys, snowmen, even gingerbread men. It was absurd in the best possible way. And then there was the map maker. For a lot of us, this was the first time we felt like real game designers. Even if most of our maps ended up being terrible boxes filled with too many turrets, but man, when you and 3 friends were packed on one couch, screaming at each other while the frame rate begged for mercy, that was peak couch co-op chaos. Here's one that swallowed entire weekend. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. Console players finally got a dungeon crawler that actually worked perfectly in co-op. Top-down hack-and-slash gameplay, piles of loot, and constant XP grinding made this insanely addictive. You and your buddy would dive into dark caverns, hack through hordes of goblins, and then the inevitable fight over loot. No man, you already got the last sword, I need this one. Half the game was arguing, and that's what made it so good. It wasn't just a simple brawler. Dark Alliance had weighty combat, satisfying spells, and bosses that demanded coordination, and gave you that Diablo-style loop, but on a couch. And when you beat a level together, it felt like a real shared victory. Okay, now this one was built for co-op. Army of Two. Released in 2008, this was the ultimate bro shooter. It wasn't just a game you could play co-op, it was a game that only made sense in co-op. Everything was designed around teamwork. Need to climb a wall? Boost your partner up. Taking heavy fire? One of you goes aggressive to draw attention while the other flanks. My favorite? Those back-to-back shootouts where the game literally forced you into an action movie moment. Sure, it was cheesy, but no game made you feel more like a Hollywood duo mowing down bad guys. And let's be honest, half the fun was customizing your guns with ridiculous skins like gold plating or tiger stripes. No other game made being ridiculous look this good. If you grew up in the mid-2000s, you probably remember LEGO Star Wars, but maybe you forgot just how magical it was in co-op. 2 players could team up to solve puzzles, collect studs, and smash everything in sight. The humor and charm were off the charts, and the co-op made you feel like you were part of the Star Wars universe with a buddy by your side. Even if you weren't a Star Wars fan, playing it with a friend turned it into pure chaotic fun. You'd argue over who got to control Luke, Darth, or Yoda, and the game never punished you for laughing while destroying every little object in sight. Next up is LEGO Indiana Jones: The Original Adventures. This one nailed the co-op formula LEGO fans loved, letting you and a friend relive all the classic Indiana Jones movies in blocky, hilarious style. You'd swing from vines, dodge traps, and fight enemies together, all while solving puzzles that often required perfect teamwork. Half the fun was arguing over who got to be Indy, and the other half was laughing at the absurd physics when someone got squashed by a boulder. It captured that same chaotic, fun energy as LEGO Star Wars, but with a totally different adventure vibe. Perfect for late night couch sessions with friends.
To infiltrate the ventilation system.
Now, this one's a bit different. Splinter Cell Double Agent had a dedicated co-op mode that was completely separate from the single-player story. You and a friend played as spies working together through missions that required actual coordination, disabling security systems, hacking terminals, and timing takedowns so you wouldn't trigger alarms. It wasn't about running and gunning, it was about whispering into your buddy's ear at 2 AM, okay, now, and hoping that they didn't mess up the timing. The missions were tense, methodical, and felt like they were built specifically to force communication. If you wanted a co-op game that made you feel like a real spy duo, this was it. If you wanted a more tactical experience, Rainbow Six Vegas was the king of co-op shooters. The game's terrorist hunt mode was legendary. You and a buddy creeping through casinos and hotels, clearing rooms one by one, never knowing if the next corner meant safety or a full-on ambush. It wasn't just about running and gunning. Vegas rewarded patience and planning. You had to use cover, coordinate breaches, and actually talk to your co-op partner to survive. Few things felt better than sinking a breach and clear perfectly, tossing a flashbang, and watching enemies scramble while you swept the room together. This was peak tactical co-op, the kind of game that punished lone wolves but made teamwork feel incredible. And finally, Conflict Desert Storm. This was before Call of Duty became the shooter king. Back then, this was the tactical co-op military game everyone was playing on their couches. Instead of mindless run and gun, Desert Storm made you slow down and actually think. You and a buddy commanded a squad, issued orders, and had to coordinate attacks. It felt almost like Rainbow Six, but way more approachable. It wasn't as flashy as the big shooters that came later, but for its time, it was one of the only co-op tactical experiences you could have on a couch. And that's why the 2000s were pure magic for couch co-op. The chaos, the laughter, the endless arguments over who got the loot. Those nights weren't just about gaming, they were about memories that still hit you right at nostalgia. Which game gave you the absolute wildest nights with your friends? I want to hear your stories, drop them in the comments. And if you're ready for more hidden gems that will make you want to grab a controller and relieve the chaos, make sure to hit subscribe. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. And thanks for watching, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers!